So we are entering into our second session on our study on Joseph. And so we're moving a little further into this study. Last week we looked at how his brothers hated him, and we talked about how we could go about being agents of peace and how do we handle when we might feel hate towards others. Let us move into our second session found on Joseph. Genesis 37, verses 5 through 7. Joseph had a dream, and when he told his brothers, they hated him all the more. He said to them, "Listen to this dream I had. We were binding sheaves of grain out in the field when suddenly my sheaf rose up, stood upright, while your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it." Joseph seems to lack a very important attribute: humility. Even though he might have had this dream, sometimes it's best not to tell others everything that you might think. Now, you might think that that person's shirt is absolutely awful, ugly, hideous, but sometimes it's best not to share that. Joseph already had a relationship with his brothers that was a bit trying, difficult, tense. And this only made matters worse. Instead of making himself the center of attention, it would have been better if Joseph had just an ounce, an iota, a little bit of humility. It would have served him and his brothers very well. Three questions for you to discuss with those around you. First, when has humility served you well? So, second question for you to consider. When has arrogance, cockiness hurt you in your life? Third and final question. How can you embrace humility more? So this week, as you leave this study, I want you to think about how you might go about being a person that embraces humility. See you back next session as we talk about the big F word, forgiveness.
This video was created by First Connect, a ministry of First Congregational Church of Hudson. It was produced at the studios of Hudson Community Television. All rights reserved.